Within the past week, our faucet in the kitchen sink lost pressure, but the spray nozzle had full pressure. So now I'm curious why. I have few memories working with my dad on some of the plumbing around the house growing up, but this is my first time doing this at home. I did a quick Google search and have a rough idea what I'm looking for. This corrosion, lime, and calcium on the faucet seems to be the most promising answer. However, I also consider the possibility of a busted O-ring. First, I'm going to turn off this knob to the hot water. Now I'm looking up to see where all of the pipes lead and what goes up to what. And I notice that the spray nozzle is right there in the middle, and so is the faucet up on top. So I'm thinking there's got to be a clog or something right there in the middle. As I'm looking for the water shutoff, I noted the hot water was there, but as I'm looking at the cold water pipes, there doesn't appear to be one, which I'm normally used to seeing under bathroom sinks. So I went down to the basement. I'm following the line. As I'm going, I notice every direction went somewhere else. Like I know where the bathroom lines are, I know where the tub lines are, but I followed this all the way to the water heater. And right here, it says water shutoff valve. So I turned it off. Unfortunately, the water was still running as I was attempting to drain the lines before taking everything apart. So I'm following it some more. And that goes down to the water softener. So the incoming must be this pipe here. So I'm following that all the way back down until it makes a right. There it is. Makes the right and heads that way beyond the wall. So now I'm heading over here and I notice these water spots, of course, so that must be where the line keeps going across. And I peeled this ceiling tile back, and sure enough, there it is. And we keep going, and it must be behind that wall. I think I remember when I first bought the house, taking that little frame off that wall there and noticing part of the plumbing there. And sure enough, right there, oops, oh well. That right there, that belongs to the city. That's the meter. That's how they keep track of how much water you use. There's the main shutoff. At this point, I had to leave the house because I had multiple needs. I didn't have what I needed to get these off here because that's just how it happens. Every time I try to do a project, I always end up finding a tool that I have to use. This is called a basin wrench. Got it from Harbor Freight. Anyway, once I disconnect all these, we're going to fast forward. After finally getting the faucet off of the sink, I had noticed a great deal of debris and corrosion inside the assembly. So I covered it in Barkeeper's Friend and started cleaning everything. There's a lot of corrosion in there. This is the fitting for the spray nozzle. It seems to be in perfect shape. No real damage, no O-ring problems. As I got to this point, it became more and more difficult to take every piece apart. It took some doing, and I realized I would have to take the faucet handles off. I noted these grooves in the bolts. Wasn't sure if I would needed a special tool to take those off, but I ended up getting the faucet handles off, and I noticed a great deal of corrosion on the inside of there. And I realized at this point, after scrubbing it with a wire brush, that these were damaged, and any further attempt would result in breaking it completely. So I bought a new one and got my pressure restored. Generally speaking, I would prefer to repair rather than replace. But there comes a point when parts get damaged in the process and there are noticeable damage to the existing parts. A repair just becomes infeasible.